Hey, Charlie.
Hey, hey, the number there,
305 area code.
okay. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to call them and star 67 my number.
Okay.
And I'm going to, I have a, this is what I have a strong feeling what I think it is. Okay. I think it may be either some private investigator, or I think it's the FBI or somebody just trying to fish around and stir the pot and see how people react.
Yeah, you no longer think it's what she said last week.
I think it's one of the two. I mean, I'll tell you why. Is it's a last ditch effort to probably try to stir a pot and see what comes out of it. Because the thing is this. It's not done like this. It's not. I mean, you gotta understand. Like, I think it's someone playing games because you gotta understand. It's not. It's not done like this. B, listen, you've done absolutely nothing wrong. I've done absolutely nothing wrong. And I think it's someone that may think they know something. So since they think they know something, they're trying to stir the pot. So it's somebody really stupid because we don't have any information. If I did, I'd go collect my reward.
I know.
So I don't know of anything. The fact that you're being extorted would sometimes people react differently to different things. Some people are extorted and they're just like, you know what? It's like patients who extort you all the time. They're like, give me my money back or I'm going to the board of dentistry. Well, I've done nothing wrong, but if I go to the board of dentistry, it's a bigger fucking headache.
I know.
Than anything else.
Right.
So even though I'm 1,000% right in the dentistry I do and the work that I do, I don't want to deal with the board of dentistry. I don't want to walk in there and have them say, you didn't tell me. Yeah, that's funny. I was talking to a dentist yesterday about this. He had a patient who he told, you may end up needing a root canal. Okay. He did this whole reconstructive case on the guy. And he said, listen, we're uprighting the tooth of the crown. You may end up needing a root canal. The guy ends up needing a root canal. What does he do? He comes back and he says, I want all my money back for everything you messed up my mouth. The guy's like, hell no, I'm not giving you your money back. He's like, I want my money back for the entire case. Yeah. He's like, no. So he took it to the board of dentistry. This dentist, okay, not only the board of dentistry made him give back all the money for the whole case, but he didn't write down in the chart what type of temporary cement was used in treating the patient. Okay. So what do you think they did? They made him take like 30 hours of continuing education that doesn't count towards his requirements. Like, every 2 years you have to take 24 hours to do online. Right. They made him take a mandatory 30 hours, and that doesn't count towards the 24. Okay. Then he had to pay for those classes. So he had to refund the money to the patient. He had to pay a fine to the board, and then he had to pay for his own education to be brought up to date on how to properly document charts. He would have been so much better off writing a check to the patient for $15,000 and getting rid of them. So much fucking better off. Instead, he was like, at principle, he's like, no, I'm taking this to the authorities. I did absolutely nothing wrong. What happens? He got fined. He had to do the continuing ed. He had to pay for the continuing ed. And what's 30 hours of your free time worth going to the continuing ed? Yeah. It's the same reason why people get in car accidents that are absolute nonsense. But the insurance companies, it's easier to pay them $5,000 to settle the claim than to, pay $5,000 to settle the claim than to go pay $18,000 to the attorneys to work up the case and go to trial And when you go to trial, you may win, you may lose, but they still spend $18,000. So the question is, do you want to spend $4,000 and make it go away, or or go ahead and pay to go to trial? Do you see what I'm saying?
That's if it's a one-time settlement.
Right, but the whole problem is like, it's not like it's not like when you give the patient back their money that they sit there and they go, exactly, like is the patient going to come back next week, make another appointment,
Right.
and annoy you more?
Sure.
Which is what I'm saying. But when you have a patient that is going to be a pain in the ass, and you're going to go to the board, even though you're 100% right, and you say, okay, I'm giving you your money back, doesn't mean that you'll get anything other than getting somebody out of your hair. So don't think that giving somebody their money back as a patient is not always a bad idea. Because then you go to the board of dentistry and then you've got a whole new set of headaches.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And that's not, and it's not like, oh, well, you're right. Well, yeah, you're right. And you may go to the board and they may spend a tremendous amount of time and trust with the board. And they may say, listen, you're right. Okay, well, how much time and trust did you spend with the board to hear you're right?
Right.
So it's not like it's admission of guilt, but at the same time, nobody likes to be shaken down because it's easier to make the problem go away.
Yeah, if that makes the problem go away, right?
So that's what I'm. But I think it's absolute nonsense. I really think it's somebody who thinks that they're like going to try to solve this case, and they think that this with a family and they have something somehow to do with it. So they're going to go ahead and be like, and make some demand and see how we'll react, or be like, oh, we made a demand and they didn't react. It's just very odd, because we've had nothing to do with this. I mean, I don't know who the hell this guy is. I assume you guys have no idea who the hell this is.
Mm-hmm.
And you pick up a newspaper and you see a last name, and it's in the old days you have the there's no way of looking anything up unless you work for the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, the homeless guy with his cell phone can go on the World Wide Web, push a name in, and 3 seconds has addresses, addresses, locations, and then for $19 you can find anybody.
Right.
So, that the thing is like me, my house is not listed.
Right.
So if you went that search route, you wouldn't find it. But that's like
But mine is.
Yours is, but what's even odder is that they're not bugging Wendi.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be the first person I'd go to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's the weird thing, that they're not bugging her. I don't. That's why I just kind of like, I don't want to have a headache, like,
I know. Interesting.
because you don't want to trade one set of nonsense for the other set of nonsense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you also don't want to have someone knocking at your door every other week.
Exactly. That's why I was hoping, maybe if you had a friend in Easton that you could do.
Well, that's what I'm working on.
Yeah.
So, but I think I'm just gonna call them up and see what they want.
If it's a non-working number.
Well, that's what I want to see, if it's not working.
Yeah.
It may not be working the other day.
Yeah. Maybe it's working now.
So let me see what they want. But I don't think Let me see what's going on.
Okay, hon. I'll keep my phone near me. I love you.
Okay, Dad went to work today?
He did, but I called him on the way, which I didn't want to do, but I knew that Erica was going to tell him when he came in, so I had an option.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let me call and see what's going on.
Do you want me to check the number with Erica and call you back?
No,
that's. This is right.
Check with her, and then just call me back in a minute.
I'll just text you back.
No, just call me back.
Call you back. Okay.
Call me right now.
Okay, bye. Okay.